Hi, I'm Karen Kugel from Living and Learning. This is our first program, and one of the things I want to do is help out you high school seniors who are just about to start school. And frankly, you don't know what you're in for. In a way, it's almost like having a baby or getting married. You really don't know until you get there. You're going to be starting the college admissions process. And that is really a crazy, chaotic time, or at least it can be. But one of the ways that you can make it a little more chill and relaxed is by getting some of the stuff done that you need to do in the summer before September hits, or whenever your school year starts. Okay? Now, the best guidance counselors have probably already given you this advice. They probably already started you on your college essay, or suggested to you that you should get your Common App application started online, which now you can do during the summer instead of waiting till August. So what I want to do is give you an idea about how to do one of the most onerous parts of this whole process, and that's writing your personal essay, right? Because remember, when you're doing your applications for colleges, in that semester from September through January, right, that first marking period of your senior year, one of the things the best counselors will tell you is that that period of time, it's like taking another whole course, believe it or not, to actually work on the college admissions process. So think about what your courses are right now. Think about what you're taking. Is it calculus? Is it art? Is it portfolio? If you're an athlete, you're going to have to go on visits and do trials. If you're an artist, you may have to develop a portfolio. If you're a musician, you may have to do auditions. You're just going to want to do college visits. So as many things as you can possibly get done before September hits, it's just going to make the whole process so much more relaxing for you, and you're going to do a much better job on your college essay. Okay? So let's get started with a couple of pointers. Right? Your college essay, what is it really, and what's the whole point of it in the first place? Okay? The colleges that you apply to, they're going to have the data about you. They're going to have your SAT scores. They're going to have a copy of your transcript and some other background information from the Common App. That's the data part. What they won't have, and what the essay is supposed to do, is be your voice, who you are. You want to take pride in this piece. This is who you are, uniquely you. And of course, putting you in a positive light, because ultimately you're competing with other people, and this is a selective process, and you want them to choose you. So how are you going to grab their attention, tell them about who you uniquely are in this 600-word essay? How are you going to grab their attention and then clinch them so that in the end they make the decision that we need this person as part of our campus community? Okay? So let me give you some pointers about doing that. First thing is, I don't know about you, but I like to be prepared. So the first thing you'd want to do is go to the Common App site, and we'll be giving you more background information about that in a few other slides later. But you're going to go to the Common App website, and you can queue up what the college essay prompts are going to be for this year. Actually, they're the same ones as they've been for the last few years, so you might even be familiar with them already. And the nice thing about these topics is that they're fairly flexible. There may be ones that talk about what makes you special, what challenge have you faced in your life, what times have you made a mistake and you got through it, and how did you turn it around, or some things about your culture or your family. So in any case, it's pretty flexible about the topics that you can talk about. So just preview it. You don't have to make any decisions whatsoever. Just look at that list, put a star next to it or jot them down, and put them aside. Right? Because the most important thing, truly the most important thing, is to tell them about you, who you are. And that means thinking about the traits and the characteristics that are uniquely you. So what I want you to do is take a piece of paper, and I don't care if you want to do this when you're sitting on the beach someday or in your bedroom or at some Starbucks cafe, right? Just think quietly as you can about who you really are. Am I kind? Am I intelligent? Am I good at sports? Am I chill with the ladies? Am I a great artist? Whatever that happens to be, make a list. Don't prioritize them yet. Just keep going with your list. And if there's any, story or anecdote that comes to mind as you call out that trait, as you think about that, jot that down too. Don't get off into the story yet. Just jot it down. How do you know you're a kind person? Well, you remember the time you helped out this poor kid in class. Whatever. Just write that thought down. Keep going with your list. Now, what if you can't think about who you are? Maybe that self-reflective thing is not something that you do very naturally. Ask a friend, a best friend, a parent, maybe, a brother or sister, to reflect a little bit on who you are. You can say to them something like, well, if you were introducing me to somebody else, what would you say about me? And that might be a good place to start. So as you write these traits and lists down, remember that your essay is going to be 600 words. So you're going to want to narrow it down to maybe the most important 3 to 5. Think of a 5-point star, okay? And try to fill in at each of those points on the star the 5 things that are really you, the most important things about you. Then look at the stories or the vehicle, the way that you could somehow tell a story with a little bit of drama and excitement about those traits. Not so directly, but perhaps indirectly as you tell the story. Andrew Stanton, who's actually works for Pixar, one of the authors of Little Nemo, so I guess he knows something about storytelling, right? Quoted a British playwright who said that drama is anticipation mingled with uncertainty. So think about it. When you write your college essay, you want to have something to grab them, to pull their attention in, because they read thousands of these essays. So you want yours to be a standout. Then you're going to write your story, and then you're going to have a grabber that makes them sit back and say, wow, this is amazing. We want this kind of person. We want Joe to be part of our campus. So that's what you're going to get to. But for now, it's about the story. So think about the traits. Think about the story that brings out some of those traits about you. Don't worry about that front end, as I talked about, that grabber just yet. Don't think about the clincher at the end just yet. If it comes to you, fine, but don't let that inhibit you telling and getting down on paper the draft. Remember, first drafts, they're never really impressive, so don't set such ultra high expectations of yourself. You just want to get the story down. Sometimes it takes more than one. Don't be afraid by that. Sometimes you may want to highlight some group of traits over another group, but that's all right. Just tell the story. Get the points down. I don't care if it's 1,200 words. You're going to narrow it down eventually. You can be selective about it, but just get the draft down. And in the end, hopefully you'll feel good about it, that this story says something about you, what is unique about you, proudly so, in a positive light, that'll help the college say, wow, we want someone like this to be part of our community. The next time around, we're going to talk about editing that draft and a little bit of troubleshooting for some topics that we haven't really addressed yet, but that could come up. Okay? So thanks again. That's for session 1.